Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I wanted to share one of my favorite games with you. It's called... Janet! Janet's gone now. It's called Scout. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it's played. Scout's an interesting game with a pretty unique theme. You can play with 2 to 5 players, ages 9 and up. And it takes about 20 minutes to play, which I think is a load of crap. This game takes at least 30 to 45 minutes, if not a full hour to play. Now in Scout, you are going to be, no idea what they call it in this game, you will be in charge of putting on a performance of a lifetime. Now, the only other problem is, it just so happens that everyone else at the table is wanting to do the same thing. There can only be one performance because people are going to go to the best one. You will take turns placing your performance in the center of the table and hoping that it is good enough to earn you some money. Sometimes it will earn you no money, and sometimes it will earn you a small fortune. One of the biggest complications of this game, once you are dealt your cards, which is around 9 cards in the beginning, you are not allowed to rearrange them. They must stay in the order in which they were dealt. You do, however, at the beginning of the game, get to decide whether you want to flip them upside down or keep them right side up. But the order must stay the same. The cards are pretty simple, however, you would be surprised how many people get hung up on the fact that they can be one thing one way and the other thing the other way. This card can be a 1 or it can be a 9. It's magic. Now, the most important thing is that each card comes with an adorable name. Say hello to Donna. As a 9, Donna is performing the trapeze. As a 1, Donna is a clown. I guess we all know now how the makers of Scout feel about clowns. There may be some cards that you have to remove before playing the game. This card must be removed if you are playing with 3 players, exactly. So let's take a look at what a performance is. A performance is any set of cards or run of cards. Doesn't even matter if it is more than a single card. This, my friends, is a set of 10s. This is a run of 2 cards. A pretty weak performance by all standards. This is a slightly better performance consisting of a run of 3 cards. Now, something that is important to remember and somehow is confusing for a large number of people. Sets are always better than runs. However, if one has more cards, then it's always the one with the more cards that is stronger. It is very important that you know the strength of your performance in this game of cash-grabbing clowns. Let's take, for example, this fairly weak performance consisting of a run of 2, 3, and 4. Yes, even this set of 3 2s, all performing as singers, is going to be stronger. What is the goal of the game, you might ask? Much like life, to get the most money. On your turn, you have the option to do one of 2 actions. You may scout or you may show. Preferably, you will show, although scouting can be advantageous. In order to show, you must upstage whatever performance is on the table. On occasion, that will be no performance, and you can play anything from your hand that you want. You must place a better performance than what currently exists in the show. If you do this, you take all those cards and place them face down in front of you as cash money. Let's say, for example, the person to my left, we'll call them Meg, foolishly places 3 2s down on the table thinking this is a good performance. I scoff openly in her face, and I place 3 10s down in their place. These 3 2s, her pathetic attempt at a performance, become my money. That's right, it's mine. Now, because my performance has been so grand, I mean, let's be honest, we have Teresa, Zachary, and Olivia launching out of cannons. What's gonna be that? The person to my right, let's call him Roberto, says, "Wow, I cannot compete with your majesty. So I'm going to take one of the cards on either end of your performance, and I am going to snipe your performer for my own. And in return, I get $1. It does not come from Roberto, it comes from the supply. But because he has scouted my performer, I get paid. So I say goodbye to Teresa, who is being launched out of a cannon, and she goes over to Roberto. Roberto may place Teresa anywhere in his hand and can use her as either performance. She can be a unicyclist or be shot out of a cannon. Either one, whichever is more helpful for Roberto. Keep in mind though, that high numbers do always trump. Now a round will end when any player has met one of the following conditions. They place a performance that the entire group scouts from, or when they play their last cards. At that point, total up all of the face-down cards you have in front of you that were taken from other people's performances. Also, the small chips that you were paid for people scouting from your performances. And that's how many points you get. Now, rounds are played equal to the number of players in the circle. If you're playing with 3 players, you play 3 rounds, each player getting a chance to go first to shuffle and deal. Once every player has had a chance going first, then the game is over. You'll count up all of your points and you will declare a winner. One important strategic move that you will want to be aware of is your van. Now the van on one side, it says Scout and Show. Once per round, you can flip this guy over from the van side to the Scout and Show side. That allows you to do both of these actions in that turn. You may scout and then you may show immediately after. A huge strategic move and a huge swing for power as you weaken their performance and then come in with a bigger one, often containing one of the performers that you sniped. Now let's get real for a second here. Why is Scout so good? Now, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it has a bit of nostalgia to it when you think of these comforting card games. They're just so easy to teach, pick up, digest, yet the strategy is actually very deep and it's subtle, but I've played this game 5 or 6 times and I keep coming back and wondering, what is the best move? Is it to scout until your moment, to show your epic performance and just cripple everybody, landing them with negative points in their hand? Or is it to put out modest shows here and there, taking the opportunity to upsell or upshow your opponent to the side of you? Is it trying to force the players after you to scout from your show, getting paid out that way? Only time will tell. But suffice it to say, Scout is a brilliant game. Highly recommend it. And this has been a Board Vengers production.